Okay, you know how fast things move in generative AI. It's just relentless. But what Google pulled off in 1 week back in February, that wasn't just fast. No, this was a massive strategic power play, and it pretty much redrew the entire map for AI music. So let's break down exactly what went down.
I mean, look at this. It all happened in the span of 6 days. First, on February 18th, bam, Google drops Lyria 3, its most powerful music model ever, right into Gemini. And you think, okay, big update. But then, not even a week later, they don't just release another feature. They go out and buy an entire company, the AI music startup ProducerAI. Two huge moves right on top of each other.
So you gotta ask, right? Is this just a wild coincidence? Two major bombshells landing in the same week just by chance? Or are we watching the opening moves of a very carefully planned strategy to completely take over a new creative frontier? That is the question we're gonna dig into. To really get what Google's up to, we have to look at the two key pieces of this puzzle. You've got the startup they bought, the player, and the core tech they launched, the power. So let's start by deconstructing this deal. You know, the best way to think about this is like building a supercar. Producer AI, that's your sleek, intuitive dashboard. It's the steering wheel, the pedals, the whole creative interface built for musicians. And then Lyria 3? Well, that's the Monster V12 engine under the hood, this massively powerful thing that can generate incredible audio from pretty much anything you throw at it. To win, you absolutely need both, that amazing user experience and the raw horsepower. And Producer AI's journey was like a classic startup story, but just played on fast forward. It began as this viral open source project called Riffusion, and it blew up so fast it attracted big name advisors and investors, like the Chainsmokers. So you see, this wasn't just some random shopping trip for Google. They bought a company that already had serious traction and a really clear vision for where music creation was headed. And this quote from Alex Paul of the Chainsmokers, this really gets to the heart of why Producer AI was so special. The founders weren't just a couple of coders. They were natively musicians. They got the creative process from the inside out. And that's why their platform felt more like a musical instrument and not just another piece of software.
So Google now has the artist-friendly platform and the cutting-edge AI model. But what happens when you plug both of those into Google's entire massive ecosystem? Well, that's when a simple creative tool becomes a creative super tool.
And right here, this is where the whole strategy just snaps into focus. Producer AI isn't just an app anymore. It's now the front door to Google's entire generative media stack. You've got Lyria making the sound, you've got Gemini acting as the conversational brain, you've got VO to generate entire music videos, and heck, even Google's image model, Nano Banana, to whip up album art. And, this is so important, everything gets watermarked with SynthID, which invisibly tags AI content. It's not just a music tool anymore, it's a full-blown end-to-end creative suite. This slide nails Google's whole philosophy here. They aren't trying to build, a creative slot machine where you just type in a prompt, pull a lever, and hope for the best. No, their goal is to build a creative collaborator, an AI that you can actually talk to, that you can go back and forth with to shape an idea, almost like you're in the studio with another person.
With this acquisition, Google didn't just join the race for AI music. They basically just vaulted themselves into pole position. But it is a very crowded and very high-stakes race. So let's take a quick look at the competition.
Right now, the big name in the space is a platform called Suno. And when you put them side by side, it's really revealing. Sure, Suno can make longer tracks right now, but Google's new tool can take in way more inputs, images, even video. But the really critical difference, the one that might decide this whole thing, isn't about features at all. It's about copyright. See, Google is building its model on licensed content. Suno, on the other hand, is already buried in lawsuits. That could be the ballgame, right there. And if you're wondering why that copyright fight is such a big deal, just look at this number. $2.45 billion. That's Sono's reported valuation. We're not talking about some niche little market anymore. This is a multi-billion-dollar industry, and the legal and financial stakes are absolutely massive. I mean, this just says it all, doesn't it? You have artist groups literally launching Say No to Suno campaigns because of copyright issues. Meanwhile, crickets when it comes to Google's Lyria. It's a classic tortoise and the hare situation. Google is playing the long, careful game, and it's going to be fascinating to see which strategy pays off. So we've looked at the acquisition, the technology, the competition. But what does it all add up to? What does this mean for Google's grand strategy? And what happens next? Okay, this is it. This is the single biggest takeaway from this whole thing. For years, Google was happy just being an engine supplier, right? They built these powerful AI models and sold access to other developers through APIs. With the ProducerAI acquisition, that's over. They have made a fundamental shift. They're not just selling the engine anymore. They're building the whole car and selling it directly to creators. It's a whole new ballgame.
And all of this, it brings us to the one fundamental question that every single creative person is facing right now. As these tools get exponentially better and easier to use, are they becoming the ultimate creative collaborators, partners that help us bring our wildest ideas to life, or are they becoming the new competition? That's the question that's going to define the next chapter of music, and Google has just placed a massive, massive bet on its answer.